completely understand that the job market is an absolute mess right now, but I really need to state the case for self-employed performers in particular, because obviously that's the world I'm in. So that's the world I can advocate for, and I'm going to right now. So if you are hiring or you are recruiting, hire performers. I know it's risky. I know they might leave in a year, but we will be a damn good employee. We have spent our whole lives essentially putting in 110% about a job that we may not care about, right? If I'm cast as the tree, I'm going to be the best damn tree. There's no small parts. Do you know what I mean? So beyond that, there's all the transferable skills, right? There's a wonderful video. It's, I think, Josh Groban at the Jimmy Awards, which are kind of the young people's Tonys, if you will. Very American, but consider it like a graduation speech. And he says pretty much what I'm saying. He's like, hire theatre kids. Because what you're not going to realise if you're not in this world is we're not hobbyists, right? We are running a business. We are business owners, CEOs, if you will. You have 40 employees, right? Cheryl on reception, CEO in the back, you've got a HR department, you've got an admin department. We're doing all of that. All of it. We're managing the accounts. We're thinking about next quarter. You know, we're future planning. We're brand ambassadors. We're marketing ourselves. Scheduling. There's so many different aspects, because actually being on set or being on stage is about 5% of what we have to do. And I think, again, if you're not in this world, it's very easy to think of it as a side hustle, because you're like, well, they're not doing much that I can see. But actually behind the scenes, we're working 9 to 5s, guys. And then we're also going off and we're doing our part-time jobs. And I think it is a wider issue, okay, with how the job market is working and automation and AI, all of that nasty stuff, because it's the same issue everyone is running into, right? Where if you're not explicitly matching the job description, you know, Co-op are looking for till staff, right? If you've not specifically got supermarket skills staff as probably your last job, not even like, oh, I did it so many years ago. Oh, you've had a break? Oh, you're probably out of practice. How could we possibly hire you? Get over it. They don't have it on their CV at all, but they've worked in a cafe and they've used your Exactil system. They've worked in retail. They've stocked shelves before. They've taken inventory. Just because they don't explicitly have, I worked in the Co-op next door, I worked in this specific Co-op, they're filtered out. They're not even given an interview. Like, without sounding vain, I have got the job for every interview I have had, because once I'm in the room, I can advocate for myself and I can say, look, I know my CV has a bunch of jobs on it, but that's because I am hopping around and I am gaining transferable skills for you. You know, my mum has said, you've travelled to more countries than I have. And this was years ago. I think I was about 22. And she said, you've already travelled to more countries than me. We're worldly. You know, like I said, we're negotiating sometimes with quite large corporations. We're advocating for ourselves. We're advocating for perhaps our own projects. We're project managing for sure. And going back to what I said about kind of that quality assurance, backstage can be on fire, but we're not going to let you know. You can thrust us into a new role, thrust us into a new job, and we're going to give it 100%. There's not going to be this, I feel so unprepared. We're always unprepared. We're improvers, baby. Like, put me out there. Give me a shot. You know? It's very frustrating, I think, particularly as I've got older, to find that the infantilization of my career is about my career, not about me and my skills. Because, without sounding vain, sometimes I sit in these corridors waiting for interviews and I think, I have the skills required for this, and I'm looking around the room and I'm talking to people and I'm going, I'm so much more experienced than you. So much more experience, but likely they're the ones that will progress because they've already got that role under their belt. Does that make sense? I have also got that role under my belt, but not with the title. Once again, ironically, public speaking is perhaps the transferable skill of having a performer, and I would say it's my worst skill. But that's why we're doing these. Essentially, I'm just saying, beyond even performers, give people a chance. Let's move away from the automation of filtering people out for not saying keywords. You know, it's an issue that stems all the way back to our education system, but look at the different things and experience that people can bring. You know, I have lived in foreign countries for extended amounts of time. I, like I said, have negotiated my own contracts. I am constantly, I'm cold calling people. There are skills that the average person is going to struggle to get little bits of, but actors and performers are so spread and in such niche little places and have such niche experiences, but also such broad experiences. You know, we've dived into Greek mythology and it's been our life as well. It's not just, oh, I'm researching this thing. No, we are engaged in this world for a year. There's not many other, I suppose, roles in life that let you do that. And it's part of the reason I love it. There's a line in Be More Chill, which, lyrically, I would argue is not the strongest, but, if you want to hire me, hire me. But there is one lyric that I love, and it's, some people do one thing for all of their lives. The thought of that gives me hives. I feel it. I do get itchy, but I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. Just because I am ambitious and I don't progress. Let me rephrase. I'm ambitious, right? I'm a bit like an ambitious sim. If you've ever played Sims, okay? We're harking back now. Ambitious Sims get anxious when they don't progress. That's me. I'm an ambitious sim. So I might get a little itchy if I've been in the same role for a while, but that's why you give me new responsibilities. You promote me, guys. Like I have to advocate for us because for some reason, I understand it. I understand your point of view of we're flaky. We're not flaky. If you can hold something for us, we'll probably come back to it. And we'll come back to it with more skills because every job we do gives us more skills and we are constantly getting new jobs. So all I'm trying to say is hire theatre kids, essentially. So I suppose you could have watched the Josh Groban video and he would have said it a lot better. But you know what? It's like 7 a.m. This is my first spoken conversation of the day. And this is what I mean about being thrown in and being okay with making mistakes and hire theatre kids.